Hey there, everybody. Thank you for joining us. We are back with our fantastic teacher, Marla Lawson. Hey, Marla.
Hi.
Thanks for taking my call. As I give you a little bit of a heads up, I played a fun hand today. Tricky. It wasn't tricky to make the contract, but the opportunity to get an extra trick or even two caused me to wonder which of my options for setting up a second suit would be better. Can I load up the hand and we can ask you for advice in deciding which of our second suits we should try to look for some extra tricks in?
Sure.
All right, here we go. Let's load it up.
Extra
Okay.
tricks are always good. Greed is good.
They are. Except when I get too greedy or when like the potential for them makes me overthink things and do something when I should just draw trumps and, make my contract. Like sometimes I go for that extra trick and overthink things and end up going down two because I try to do something goofy.
Yeah.
So maybe that's the case too. Marla, I need your help.
Okay.
All right. So we're in four spades. And right. I guess can I share with you my thinking at first and the question where I needed some help?
Sure.
So our spades are great. They're looking great. We have two sure heart winners, and we will have one sure club winner, and we have one sure diamond winner. But that's leaving two heart losers and one diamond loser, one potential diamond loser to try to get rid of.
Mm-hmm.
And so really quickly, just following suit, clicking on the wrong screen. I wasn't sure which of my losers to get rid of. So we can win this. And here we go. It's great. We can toss either the diamond loser or the heart loser, but I wasn't sure if, do I want to keep this queen and potentially finesse to it and toss one of these heart losers, or do I want to toss the diamond, ruining the potential finesse, and keep these hearts to try to rough two of them in South's hand?
Right. Okay. Well,
help me out.
Hey, well, your first bit of thinking is actually spot on. You look and you say, okay, so like, what are my winners and losers in a suit contract? And the way I always think about it is to count losers, you have to pick what we call a master hand, and that's usually the hand with more trumps. So in this case, that would be North.
Yeah.
And from North's perspective, you're absolutely right. You have one diamond loser and two heart losers.
Yeah.
Spades, you're probably safe, but you are missing the jack, the 10, and the 9.
Oh, sorry. And the club loser, which we already lost.
Oh, and the club loser, which we already lost. Very true. So how are we going to get rid of our losers? Well, you can rough losers, you can pitch them on a string of winners in the other hand, or you can take a finesse. So what do we know right now? So we have in our hand 12 high card points.
Yep.
And remembering that North also had the king of clubs. So North had 15. So 12 and 15 is 27. That means there are 40 points in the deck. There are 13 points left for the two opponents.
Yeah.
And in the bidding, here we go. We see the East overcalled on the 2 level.
Right.
So they probably have like at least 11 or 12 points. They have most of the remaining 15 points.
Right.
So given that, they probably have the king of diamonds. That's no guarantee.
Right.
And they have, because they played the ace of clubs at trick 1. So that's 4 points right there. And we have the king and the queen of clubs.
Yeah.
They probably must have like the jack 10 also. So if they have the jack, that's 5. So they've got to have points somewhere else.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking that
they don't have it in spades, and they don't really have it in hearts. I mean, she kind of has to have the king
Yeah.
of diamonds.
Yeah. And there, I mean, like, it's not certain, but it's unlikely that the
Huh.
diamond finesse is going to work.
Uh-huh.
So given that, I would probably pitch the diamond because, I mean, yeah, you could throw a heart under the queen of clubs, but you've already got ways to get rid of the heart losers, which is to ruff them.
Marla, you make it sound so simple. I was staring at this wondering, how do I choose between these two possible? I don't want to get rid of a potential finesse. All right, let's see what happens.
Okay,
all right,
so now you know that we're in control. We have the lead in our hand here, and normally you think, oh well, should I draw trump? But there are 3 reasons not to draw trump immediately. The first is you need them to ruff losers in the short trump hand, and yes, we do, because we want to ruff those 2 heart losers. So let's do that before we draw trump.
So our reason here, if we quickly draw 3 rounds of trumps, which I could do if I was just rushing through and not thinking about things, then what are we going to do?
Right. Then you got the 2 heart
fourth
losers.
round of hearts. They're going to lose. Okay. So 2 winning rounds and see what happens here, ending up in North's hand.
Yeah, I would cash the hearts. I think you've got a total of 6 hearts, so there's 7 missing.
Let's count.
I think the ace and king are definitely cashing because otherwise somebody's got like 6 hearts and they would have bid something.
Right.
So, okay. And now we've noticed that everyone followed.
Yeah.
So 8 hearts have been played and there's 2 left on the board. So that means that there's 3 more. Okay, let's ruff one.
With 3 more, one comes out. Is it safe to ruff low? Do we want to keep the king?
I think, well, yes, I think you can ruff low here because if Westy is out of hearts, then East had like, what, 5 hearts to start with, and they maybe would have overcalled hearts instead of clubs. So.
Right.
I think I would chance it and ruff small on this one.
Okay. And now we have to get back up to North's hand, but we can't play trumps.
Right.
Our diamonds are key.
Yeah, because diamonds haven't been played yet. So I think it's safe to cash the ace and then ruff a diamond small.
And here we go.
Okay,
all right.
Now, go ahead.
To get the last heart out.
And that's the last one. Because remember, so we played 2 rounds, everybody followed. So that's 8.
Yeah.
And on the last hand, everybody follows. That's 9, 10, 11. So these are the last 2 hearts. So you have to ruff high or you're going to get overruffed.
High. Otherwise, assuming West has some spade, well, something, we don't want to get overruffed. So.
Right. So now,
okay.
Yeah. So now the only risk is, because we're still missing the jack and the 10 and the 9 of spades. So we might lose a trump trick now.
But what can we do about it? This was a great line of play. Let's see what happens.
Right. Now it's time to draw trump. Oh, look at this. Ka-ching! They even split 2-2 and you, So now
I love it when a plan comes together.
And you got so you took 12 tricks.
How satisfying. Oh, that's wonderful.
Excellent.
Marla, this was just so much easier to play with you, helping make sense of how we choose between our different options for hunting for extra tricks.
Oh, I'm glad that was helpful.
That was a fun hand.
Yeah, if you just think about all the little pieces of information you have, from the bidding and counting the points, then sometimes things sort of start to crystallize and you're like, okay, this is likely to work. This is maybe not so likely to work. But.
Well, as always, you make what can be really complicated, keeping track of so many different things. You make it so accessible, so easy to understand. So Marla, thank you again for taking my call, for leading us through this hand. For folks watching, thank you for joining us. Keep learning with Marla. There's a URL right there, and you could get more videos and learn about Marla's online lessons there. Marla, thank you.
Thank you. It was a pleasure.